Hello and welcome. We're going to be reacting to the new Ant-Man trailer that I had to watch an awful football game for like 2 hours. It's abysmal.
Was it awful?
It was.
Was it just a bad game?
They're up by like 60 points right now, Jesse. And this is a football game. It's not basketball.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand. It's college ball, man. It'd be like that sometimes.
You don't.
Yeah.
That's something you don't want. You don't want a huge gap.
No, Georgia is.
Got it.
The worst part is I have relatives that attend/teach at TCU there in Fort Worth. So they're getting trounced right now. They're absolutely getting destroyed. But regardless, we got this new trailer. We're going to watch it. Are you guys ready to watch
Speaking of getting destroyed.
Speaking of getting destroyed, Ant-Man has a bad time in this trailer.
How do you know this? Why do you know this?
Because I'm reading Twitter and I'm seeing the memes right now flying fast.
Don't do that.
I had to log out of Twitter to avoid some of the spoilers and memes.
Also, okay, I just got massively spoiled for this. All right, are you guys ready?
What do you stop looking?
I can't.
All we have to do is press play and we're good.
Are you ready?
Don't look.
Are you ready, Bronze? Jesse, are you good?
I'm ready.
Here we go. And we're going to go 3, 2, 1, play.
Go.
Great.
3, 2, 1, play.
You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You're an Avenger.
This is the audio we heard, Jesse, from that leaked footage.
You have a daughter. But you've lost a lot of time. Like me. We can help each other with that. Who are you?
Yep.
I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. What's that? Time.
Dude, he looks good.
He's got the blue shield now. He's got the helm.
And shatter timelines.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
You cannot trust him.
I don't care who this guy is. I just lost so much.
We're not gonna.
He can give us a second chance.
That looks crazy. All right, so they're going after Avatar. They got flying shit. What the fuck?
Or everything you call a life will end.
This is all my fault.
Whoa.
You may not want her to watch this. We had a deal.
There's MODOK.
You thought you could win. I don't have to win. We both just have to lose. I'm sorry, Cassie.
All right, so he's definitely dying, right? I don't think he makes it out of that alive, y'all.
Are we not going to talk
I think
about?
they should name this movie Kang. That's just my pitch.
Yeah.
I just talked about this in the last episode of Bagged and Boarded, but there's a comic called Timeless that's just about Kang. And in this comic, there is a person who specializes in villain studies. And this person writes about how Doom is the most unique and best villain of all time. And Kang goes back in time, grabs this writer, takes them on a 7-week adventure through the multiversal timeline just to prove to them that his dick is bigger than Doom's. And at that moment, I was like, okay, my immediate response to this comic is, I am 10 times more excited for Quantumania if they even do 1% of like that level of unhinged, you know, and that level of like self-assuredness, overconfidence, just like, you know, and like that's what this trailer was, where he's just like, you're gonna bring me what I want, or I'm gonna kill you and everyone you love. Also, I'm that fucking guy.
It sounds like
And I'm
it.
not afraid of you at all.
Sounds
you
like
know?
it. Jesse, you're losing your mind over there. I wanted Bronze the speaker piece, but you were losing your mind.
We're not
I
going
know,
to
I
talk
saw that.
about multiple MODOK shots.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
a lot of
yes,
MODOK
yes.
shots.
Dude was
MODOK
in multiple
de-
shots.
Yeah. Also, he looks weird. Am I crazy or does he look weird?
Did you see
He
the
looks like a
unmasked?
gremlin.
Did you see the
Yeah,
unmasked
there's an
MODOK?
unmasked
Yeah.
version, and then there's version where he's in
Yeah.
armor. Yeah.
Is
We
the
got two
unmasked
shots.
before or after? I want to find
There's a big group shot of all of them walking out, and I think Kang is in front, and MODOK's just in the back floating. And a lot of people, because I think it's a
Look at
Funko
this.
Pop or something, is the armor version. Yeah, right there.
That
People
looks
were like-
crazy. Right? Like that looks
I love it.
crazy. That looks like
People
a
were freaking out.
meme.
No way. That guy, I mean, he is a meme. Let's not pretend.
It is. I mean,
I'm excited
Patton
'cause he's
Oswalt
goofy.
played him. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
giant meme. Yeah, it looks goofy
I
as
love
hell.
this.
He's definitely meme status, but without the helmet, he looks creepy as shit. He looks like the most gremlin creature.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, and the full armor, that I think is the Funko Pop everyone was losing their mind about, because they were like, if that's what he looks like,
yeah, that
this
was
isn't real MODOK.
There was like a very quick shot of him. I gotta find it real quick.
Yeah, it's him like coming down from the sky.
Yeah.
Also,
It's like a
that's
full shot of
wild.
his
That was
mug,
the real one.
too.
That's spaghettification, bro.
Yeah,
Everyone
but
knows
like,
spaghettification.
how many Ant-Mans is that? Like, what are those? All the Ant-Mans of the multiverse? Is he erasing him from the multiverse at that point?
No, I think this is. We saw a scene where Scott creates another Scott, and I feel like this is one of those like, I need to get up there. How can I do it? And like the zombie climbing things in DayZ or World War Z or
There.
whatever that was.
Yeah,
They climb up the thing. Yeah, there he is.
could be.
That is the
think,
freakiest shit I've ever seen.
dude, I think
So
that's
he's
the
dying,
first.
right? Like that guy's dead.
I
for
think
sure.
that's the first time MODOK's ever looked cool.
But
Yeah.
MODOK dies in this, right? Like 100% MODOK dies. He's the villain who gets it.
Um,
Because Kang doesn't die.
I don't think the villain. I think the villains win in this. I think Ant-Man's dead.
Nah. For a third movie,
They can't-
nah.
yeah, they can't lose.
Trilogy.
Yeah. Also, they need a hero that has personal skin in the game against Kang in the
Right.
finale, and right now that's just Loki.
I think the personal skin in the game is going to be literally Kang. It's going to be Iron Lad.
You think they're gonna
That's-
bring Iron Lad
Into
in
this
for?
movie?
Not this movie. I'm saying in the future. If you're saying this movie, then yeah, I
And-
think it's Ant-Man for sure. It
Because
has
if
skin
they're
in the
if
game,
they're
but-
heading towards like an Endgame-esque scenario, then like I think part of what made that work is like at that point Thanos had taken something from like all of
from
them, or at
so
least
many
a lot
people.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right now, like Loki's the only one that knows that Kang exists. And also the version He Who Remains that they met wasn't, I don't know, you could argue that he wasn't really a bad guy. Because he
He
kind
wasn't.
of gave them all the options. He was like, this is
Yeah.
up to y'all.
He
You know?
definitely was not a bad guy, I don't think.
Like he was manipulating the TVA, yes. But like he didn't outright fight Loki or try to kill him. We just found out he was like pruning the timeline and like leading it to a very
I mean, he
specific,
was-
determined outcome.
He was a bad guy, just not like the worst guy. Right? Like I think that was the
Yeah.
point, is
Yeah. So
I-
I think I think Scott Lang has to survive this because then there will be one hero that tells the rest of them like, you don't
What's
understand.
going on? But what if that's his
Yeah.
daughter? What if that's Cassie? What if Cassie's the one that
Oh.
lives and everyone else dies or gets trapped?
No, Scott's fine. 100% Scott's fine. This trailer threw so many death flags at Scott that they're not going to spoil that in the trailer. He's fine. 100%
Yeah.
fine. He's going to be okay.
I bet
Now, other
Pym dies.
characters,
Yeah, I bet
someone else
Pym
might
dies.
die, but he's fine.
Well, someone's going to make the sacrifice play without a doubt. It's probably going to be Pym because he hasn't really been like redeemed thus far. He's just been an
No.
asshole.
Yes.
And so he'll probably make the
No, I
like
bet
redeeming
you
play.
Pym dies.
Yeah.
In the
Um,
comics, Pym is also like kind of like not even kind of, he's super abusive towards his wife.
Oh yeah, he's a piece of shit in the comics for sure.
So like him dying might be the best option. because his storyline with his wife is kind of resolved. Like he has her back, and
Yeah, I think she's gonna be
he
the
doesn't have
one.
anywhere to go now.
She's gonna be like the guide, and then they're gonna do like the handoff and introduce Kang, and then it's basically gonna be a whatever the heist is, whatever he's asking Ant-Man to do for like the rest of the movie.
Man, I don't know. I feel like this movie is leading everyone on a like wild quantum chase. I don't know what this is gonna be. This is gonna, because we've seen clips where he straight up is like, "Yo, which Avenger are you? Because I kill so many y'all."
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
Kang. So
Let me.
you know, I don't think it's.
Who is this?
They're probably some of the. So there's a Resistance that's been cast, and
Well, I saw
it's probably some of those characters.
because like there's 3 characters running right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the actress's name, but there's 3. There's like a few main Resistance people that are like, we fight against Kang, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. So Kang's definitely sweating here. He's doing something at this point.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
in it.
curious. This makes me think more about Loki season 2 because I'm curious who that TVA Kang is. I'm curious if they're going to introduce the other various Kangs. If this is a Kang that's been smart because he's hidden away, right? Like, oh,
What a
there,
shot!
like,
Man.
there's
That's so cool.
bajillion Kangs, but I'm the smart one because I hid here.
Yeah.
When, like, you know, all the other ones killed each other off. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what
I think this.
they're
I mean,
about to do to us.
with his army, it seems like this is like the General Kang, but he doesn't seem as like brutish, I guess, to be that. Because I think that like version of Kang is just a straight up like, oh, you're Ant-Man, I'm going to kill you now, and then he dies.
Well, I think that's the interesting thing about this is if it's Kang the Conqueror, and he's like the big bad Kang,
Ooh, what a
why is he hiding out in the quantum realm when, if you're conquering, wouldn't you want to be like, I am everywhere? I live in a giant throne. Like,
I mean, he already seems, he straight up said like, I can end timelines. Like he straight up told Ant-Man that that's a possibility. So
Sure,
he definitely is powerful without question.
But they're all powerful,
but-
right? It
Yeah,
comes
that
down
is a good
to
point.
which
Is
one
like,
we're
why is
dealing
he
with.
hiding? Why is he not
Right.
shown himself yet?
There's
There's
a lot of
something he's
that.
afraid of, and that's probably what he's getting Ant-Man to steal. Is a thing to
Either-
help with that.
He's afraid of Doom, or he's afraid of himself.
A version of himself.
Because the thing with the comic books is like comics tend to kind of give that's like where I feel like they test ideas. And one of the last Kang comics I read had this sort of storyline where Kang screws. Oh God, how do I even? Okay, so
Timeline shift.
Kang puts himself in the prehistoric era as a child
Right.
so that he can be the most badass version of himself. But Kid Kang hates adult Kang for doing this to him and therefore conspires to backstab him. And the adult Kang ends up stuck in the prehistoric era, and the young Kang steals his armor and goes to the future. And that Kang is even more savage than the Kang that tried to kill him. So Kangs kill each other a lot too.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is
I know.
pretty-
It gets wild. Do you
So
think
I
they're going to
bet
go
you
that
this
crazy with
Kang
it?
is afraid of. I do. I think this one's afraid of He Who Remains.
He doesn't know that he's dead.
Well, yeah, because He Who Remains literally was like, listen, I knew that a worse one than me was gonna do this, so this is me getting rid of all the other Kangs to save you guys.
But wasn't
I bet you, like, he's probably afraid of another Kang.
it's definitely another Kang. I don't think it's He Who Remains though, because He Who Remains had the safeguard on the multiverse. Like the reason when he died, that's when the multiverses became.
Oh, true.
the
So
multiverse,
it's probably another Kang.
It's got to be another Kang.
So what you're telling me is this movie ends with Scott killing this Kang. Post credits, another Kang. Okay.
I mean, maybe that could be it.
I mean, they're already introducing the idea of clones in this, and they're introducing the idea of like, oh, there's multiple versions.
I mean, that is true. What is
like, because
where's
I
that shot of
think the
Ant-Man?
reason they're showing so many Ant-Men is to tell you, like, remember, audience, if
Right here.
a version of Scott Lang dies, doesn't mean that every version of Scott Lang dies. Therefore, if a version of Kang dies, does not mean every version of Kang dies. Set up Loki season 2.
So let me ask you that question then. Does the MCU version of Scott Lang die in this film?
No.
You don't think
100%
so?
no.
I don't think
No.
so. I think it's a red herring. I think the whole reason they're showing all these Scott Langs is to set up the expectation that if you see another Kang, don't be mad.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's going to be a very difficult foe to beat because of the multiverse.
Sure.
And I think him saying, even though it's not in this trailer, him saying like, "Oh, yo, I've killed like which Avenger you have killed plenty of you before," is like, oh, in the multiverse, people be dying all the time, and Kang dying is just we already learned from previous Kang that like that's just a setback. There's other ones, and so I think being able to then jump into Loki season 2 and see what that Kang is like and deal with that situation.
True.
It opens up the audience to be like, oh no, this guy is an unkillable throughout time menace, and how do you defeat someone like that, right?
Yeah.
And so that
I just don't know how we tell this story without Reed Richards.
I think they like name drop the idea, or if he does any sort of storytelling about who he is and where he's from, then he definitely said something. He says something like so and so Richards from the year blah blah blah, from the year 5000 or whatever the fuck it is, right? And that's like all we get.
He mentioned before that he said in the year 3000, when he did his like background story in Loki. So I would assume that if they were smart leading into Fantastic Four, we would get the reveal that this guy is the ancestor of some dude. Post-credit scene, like, I'm Reed Richards and I'm working on a project. And it's like, ooh, that's the guy?
Could be.
Because you have to think about general audiences, right? Most people going to see a movie aren't going to be like, I know all the backstory of Kang the Conqueror, right? So you have to feel like they're going to drip feed you bits and pieces of lore so that by the time you get to Fantastic Four, it's like, oh, damn, this is the guy that eventually, like offspring-wise, leads to Kang.
Yeah, sure. Any idea what the fuck this is besides cool as shit?
Some more of that,
you think that's the
microscopic, atomized, every time they go there, we see weird stuff. So,
quantum burst,
trippy.
Yeah, quantum
it kind of looks like the
sake of being
Cancerverse. If I'm being honest, it looks a lot like the Cancerverse.
I don't know what that means.
Is that a comic thing?
Yeah, like there's like a whole Cancerverse, and like the only thing that hasn't like basically like death has died in the Cancerverse. Things just kind of mutate and metastasize, and they never die. And so like when he said the comment of like, oh, I don't have to win, I just have to make sure we both lose.
Right.
It's actually kind of a little bit of a throwback to like when in Thanos Imperative, Nova, Peter Quill, and Adam Warlock had to fight Thanos in the Cancerverse, realized they couldn't kill him, and so they just made a pact to stay there for eternity, the three of them, and fight him forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like, we both have to lose. So him saying that sounds kind of like, to me, it seemed like a callback of that. To be fair, I don't think it's the Cancerverse, but it just it looks a little bit like it.
Let me ask you guys. It could be. You never know. Let me ask you guys this. Is that line, I don't have to win, I just have to, or whatever the line you just said, the big like Ant-Man line stinger at the end. How far into the movie is that? Do you think that's first 30 minutes? Is that the end? Do you think
what? No.
Do you think they're like
no?
Do you think they're not showing anything in this film? Do you think they've shown everything?
I think they're showing way too much.
Yeah?
I think this one showed a lot. Yeah, I'm trying to go back through and see there's a lot of different shots of just like moments.
This shot's wild to me. Him like being like the spaghetti stuff that like Thanos did was like fine, whatever. This is like kind of brutal. It's like brutal in a way. I also
Yeah,
don't know what's causing
movie's
it.
definitely darker
Yeah, it's
than what I expected.
everything in tone. I feel like has shifted to be a little bit darker from when we first saw this film. Like whenever that last trailer was, September, I think, is maybe when it was.
So this is man, this is why Marvel needs to stop doing this. They do too much. They show too much. All right. All the Scots, right, are
Yeah.
trying to get to whatever that circle twirling thing is in the
In the
sky,
center?
right? They're climbing up each other.
This thing right
They're
here.
trying to
Oh, that looks like where he jumped through. Actually, right here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the image is at 118. It's where there's a giant
Oh,
Game
yeah,
of
yeah,
Thrones
yeah.
looking
Yeah, yeah.
thing there. Right? Okay. Yeah. And then in this scene, if you press play, it starts to crumble, and there's a Scott who's like, "Oh no, I'll never make it."
Yeah.
Right?
You think he's
and
using
then-
like his Ant-Man powers to control those other Ant-Mans?
Maybe. I mean, that would be
Is that-
hilarious.
Is that how he's doing that?
But they show him in that scene falling, and then in a very quick flash at 148, they show Wasp catching him and pulling him up.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
So if
you see
if
a
press
fuck
play,
ton of wasps.
Literally,
too.
she grabs him, and it's the same scene.
Did you see how many
So-
wasps were behind them?
Yeah. So either this is some kind of like a ultra trippy fake out that, Marvel does. They've definitely done this with MCU stuff where they like put things in. But this seems like one complete scene that they chopped up
Yeah.
and put in different places.
Yeah.
So, I'm not too worried about some of these moments. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's the end. That's how that works. And okay, they got each other. So the real things that I'm curious about are, what is the plan? What is the item that Kang's trying to get?
Right.
Kang clearly looks, when he's fighting Scott at the end, some of his armor's blown off and he looks pretty beat up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they both do for sure.
Yeah, the question is why
Which makes
did
me.
Ant-Man
Are they
manage
just
to kick the crap out of
Are
him?
they just taking shots at each other at that point? Like it seems kind of. Because Kang doesn't have powers, he just has technology, right? Bronze.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like very, 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 very smart, and has technology
Yeah.
from the future. Okay.
If you were to rob him of his arsenal, he'd be donezo. But even then, he tends to hide his arsenal in Pym space. I don't know if Pym space is even canon in the MCU yet.
Yeah.
So like when we see him outside of the quantum verse, like you'll see him kind of like Doctor Strange style pull stuff out of like seemingly nowhere, but it's because he hides stuff subatomically. So it's just like always there, and then he just like reaches out and pulls it. So I almost wonder if like the thing he needs is like to get him out of the quantum realm. I wonder if like
it's how he gets out
he's
of
like-
it. Like he can't.
Yeah.
He doesn't
I
have the
wonder if
power
he's,
to
like,
grow out
lost
of it or
something.
grow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be it.
that's my theory. Like I don't know who took that from him is the thing. I don't know if another
Right.
version of him took it from him is my theory, but like I bet you like he needs that back, and that's why he's stuck down here because he's got these grand designs.
Yeah.
He can't get out.
It's interesting to talk about themes. It's really interesting for them to like hit so much, at least in this trailer and probably the film, on the idea that like Scott lost time, right? Because he was snapped. He lost those 5 years. He wants to see his daughter grow up, and to hear what Coogler wanted to do with the original Black Panther 2 script, where it was about Black Panther losing time and like the loss of that. I wonder if that's going to be like a theme moving forward here in phase 5, is the like loss of time and who else? Because like who else in the rest of the, I guess, core MCU was snapped that we haven't like heard from or they haven't discussed their like loss of time.
I mean, across the board, that's been a huge issue where it feels like the way they've handled people disappearing for 5 years and the world being upended is almost comically, where it's like Scott Lang's new podcast where he talks, like there's a lot
Yeah.
of that stuff and not a lot of like,
They-
yo,
They
that
did
would
do it
be-
with Black Widow.
Yeah,
Sure,
She
and
was
that was
addressed.
like one
yeah.
of the
With,
few. Yeah,
With
which
Florence,
was hers
yeah.
was really cool. The wallpaper changing, and that was actually the first time we got a POV
Yeah.
of just like you blink and then everything changed. That scene is like probably one of my favorite things out of this last phase of the MCU.
I wonder
But other
if,
than
like,
her, yeah, we haven't seen it once.
Oh, we got the flag smashers or whatever those people were called, but that was pretty like, you know, bottom of the barrel kind of like dramatic stuff.
Wasp got
Didn't really make
snapped,
sense.
right? Yeah, because he came out of the back of the van.
Yes, they all got snapped except for him because he was in the quantum realm,
right.
and I guess his daughter.
Yeah. I wonder. I mean, they'll probably like focus on that as well. I don't know. I'm excited. I think that was an awesome trailer.
This will be fun. This movie has a lot to set up.
It seems like
and
it's got some stakes in it as well. Like it's we know what we're gonna get in terms of Ant-Man. We kind of know how that film is vibed so far for 2 in a row.
Sure.
And now we got the introduction of more Kang, which the first introduction was great. I think he was received pretty well. A lot of people thought that he was maybe overacting a smidge, but you know, regardless, I think he still came across pretty well in Loki, and I would get to see him more, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think the idea of having multiple versions of a character means that some are going to be wacky and some will be fun, some will be subdued. Like, you know, the whole point is we're going to get, I hope, some really great Kangs, and we get to see some like really fun variants. So I'm absolutely here for it. This can be this movie. I was trying to think of like a phase 1 film, but maybe it's not phase 1. Maybe it starts in phase 2. But like something that even remotely was like, yeah, I can't wait to like see where all this leads to. But this has that vibe. We've been through a phase where nothing important happened.
Yeah,
like nothing important happened in the entire phase, and it was all kind of like throwaway content, except for a few of the TV shows.
right.
And so finally to have something where it's like, okay, this is setting up a thing. This is important to the world, and it's the start of something new. It feels like the start of something new, and I think that's really important considering there's a lot of MCU burnout. So
Right.
it's nice to see that actually on screen. So this should be fun.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
we
it does
we get
definitely
that
feel
dumb
like the
fuck
last
MODOK
phase.
right there.
Yeah, I'm very excited for MODOK.
What is he gonna sound like?
Yeah, it does feel like the last phase was housekeeping.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's just so underwhelming.
It
do
it made me
a bunch of housekeeping.
You're 100% right. It was really funny because I was watching, and I kind of talked about this last episode, but I was watching the first Captain America, and there's so many characters in that film where they have things like 10 films later, where they're like a pretty important arc. And so I'm hoping that when I go back and watch Phase 4 films, I'm like, that thing happened 10 films from now. I hope that's what we're in store for. I don't know if that's the case, but I really do hope that's what's going to happen.
What's absolutely crazy about all of it is the more I think about it, the more I'm like, Phase 4 literally just appears to be the setup for the oh my god, my brain just died.
The multiverse?
The Thunderbolts.
Oh, there's a lot of it for sure. Yeah.
It really seems like every character in that movie is from Phase 4.
It's
pretty wild.
The Thunderbolts might be. I mean, we'll talk next week when we do our actual episode. There's been a lot of like supposed leaks, rumors, whatever about Captain America 4, about Thunderbolts, and kind of the plot of all that stuff. Who knows what actual credibility it all is in it? But you're right. Like it could be leading.
It was Doctor Doom.
Could be leading to all that, right? I hope that's the case. I hope that we see this film and it's like, okay, great. I'm excited. We've got our big bad. He's going to be, doing stuff in the background now. He's collecting whatever he's collecting. And it's going to make sense. I also hope that we get some sort of reveal that like all the tech, the Shang-Chi tech, the Miss Marvel tech, that's his shit. It's not alien. It's his. I would love if that was the case. Because a lot of people think, when you go back and look at some of these city shots,
visually it looks very similar.
Yeah, like that looks more like a clock, like a watch type
but
deal.
The rings around the outside that eventually come up during that one scene.
Well, even right here,
look
like those. Look
that's what I'm saying. Like even on the outside, like around the landing platforms, there are rings. Like when they move, they glow just like the 10 rings and just like Miss Marvel's bangles. So
I mean, look at that shot. That's a hell of a shot right there.
Mhm.
it's gonna be interesting to see what this, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen in this movie. Like
Yeah, there's a lot that
there's
needs to happen in every film, right? And like usually they kind of fall under that weight, but maybe
Yeah.
if they can deliver like the core of whatever we need or whatever they want to, anything else that kind of falls by the sides, that's fine. I don't.
I mean, look, I'm ready to love another movie's villain more than everyone else in the film.
Yeah,
Black Panther to me again. Let's go. Let's go.
it's true.
I'm ready.
Mhm.
God, what if Namor and Kang meet? They're gonna have to, right? Like, there's no way they don't. I wonder how that goes. It's gotta
Here
be
for
an
it.
interesting.
Although I
thing.
feel like Namor's kind of like, you're an asshole, dude.
He'd probably be like, "Fuck
Even
you!
I
I'm going
have
back to the
standards."
ocean. I got to go back to my
Yeah.
city. Okay, I'm gonna go sit on my
Yeah.
throne and look cool underwater." So,
I don't know.
all right.
I also feel like Kang is the type to head him off.
In terms of
Does that
smarts,
make sense?
like his.
Yeah, like buy him off early.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like Kang is the type to definitely be like, I don't want Namor to be a problem down the line, so I'm gonna just go talk to him real quick and be like, hey, let's make a deal, because that's like kind of how he operates.
Sure.
So I can definitely see him like I said, just like heading that off before it becomes a problem. And I could totally see there being a scene where everyone else comes to Namor and asks for help, and Namor's like, no, and here's why.
Sure. Yeah.
Because like that's gonna be a big part of like what makes Kang scary is like he's gonna be 3 steps ahead of them every single time, you know?
And then behind
Literally.
Namor on his wall mural who's making will be a Kang going like this to everyone, and it will be great.
Well, hopefully you
Like
guys
I
are.
painted it yesterday.
Hopefully you're a fan of Jonathan Majors because he's gonna be everywhere this year. He just has a new.
I like him.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just had a new film called Devotion that's on Paramount Plus. He's got this in February. He's got Creed 3 later in 2023.
I don't know if I can handle Creed 3
He's
with
got
no
another-
Rocky. My heart, man.
He's got another film called Magazine Dreams. He's got a lot. He's got a lot going on. And then, of course, Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars in 25 and 26. So, and then who knows how many other films. He could be in every
sure he'll
Marvel
show up.
film from now till 2026.
I feel like
Right?
this is the same vibe as Guardians 1, where it's like we are learning about the villain and then we'll get Kangs in post credits up until the Kang movie. You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
Guardians 1 was like, we're going to meet all the
Mhm.
characters around Thanos and we're going to learn what a badass he is. And then, okay, he's gone for a while, but he's around. But he's gone for a while. I feel like this is that movie. We're going to set up and then this, like, let it go.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited for that, but I'm also like, how do I describe this? I hate the name of this movie.
What do you mean?
I hate the
Quantumania?
name. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I hate
It's a
that
little
movie,
bit of a
that
mouthful.
name.
Yeah, it's a little bit
I
of a
hate that
mouthful,
name.
get
I
that.
just did like because it like I'm excited for it. It looks good. I agree with a lot of things Jesse said, but that name is just the stupidest name.
I mean,
They
people are
could've named it.
they're just gonna call it Quantumania. They had nomenclature from the
No
first
way.
two
People
films.
are going to call it Ant-Man 3. It's going to, there's no,
Yeah,
they can name
it's
it
gonna
whatever.
be
They can
Ant-Man
name
3.
this Ant-Man and the
You're
Wasp and
probably
their
right.
kid, Quantumania, The Rise of Kang, The Kang Legacy, Part 1. And people will be like, took it to Ant-Man 3. No one cares about the name of this movie, unfortunately, for the movie. Like, you know what I
no
mean?
one
Like, it
cares,
could be
but
anything.
it just bothers me. It's like when they
Sure.
named
Yeah.
the Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I was like, that's a stupid fucking name. And then the
Well,
week
when
after
people went
they
to the theater,
changed
they were
it.
like, can I see Harley Quinn? You know what I mean? Like, no.
Well, no. They
Eventually-
literally changed the name of the movie after it came out because
That is
they were
true.
like, okay, apparently that was a very stupid name, and I was like, just name it like something like, why not even just Ant-Man Quantumania?
Because it's got they got
Because the Wasp
they
is
got
in it.
history.
Because it was Ant-Man and the Wasp in the last one,
Yeah.
so it's got to be
That's
Ant-Man
exactly
and the
right.
Wasp, Quantumania, Rise of Kang, the Kangverse, Part 1, Rekangening.
Also, in
It's
terms
happening.
of like, if you think
I
about
hate you,
it, in,
Jesse. I hate you.
in terms of like all of the Marvel films, a film just called Ant-Man is pretty stupid. Like, all the other films are like
They had
Iron
one of
Man.
those.
That's good. Sure, I get Iron Man. That's kind of like Thor. Sure, Captain
Yeah.
America. Yeah, okay. Black Widow. Sure, Ant-Man. That kind of sucks. They did it right,
Like
but
I
like,
Yeah.
Ant-Man 3.
it kind of
It's
sucks.
all people are going to say is Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
They could have named it anything. And most of the time when you do stuff like this, it can be named anything anyway.
Yeah.
People are like, let me see Kang. I don't know how many people are going to go to the movie theater and be like, one ticket for Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, please. Like, they're
They're
going
just
to be
gonna
like,
say
Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts. Anything else you guys want to bring up? We'll wrap it up and call it a react.
No, let's get to February, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for February.
I think it'll be good. I'm excited for it. That was a cool trailer. Do you think we get another? This is probably final trailer, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think they have anything else to show. I think this is.
If they show any more, they've shown too much. 3 trailers so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We had the teaser, then one September,
Mhm.
and then this one. Yeah. All right. Well,
What
that's
was
that.
that theme playing halfway through?
The theme was that the Ant-Man
The
theme.
theme music. Was that the Ant-Man theme?
He's got
I'm
an
asking
Ant-Man
'cause
theme.
I don't know.
I only know because it was one of those films where I left on the fucking TV while I was sleeping, and so it's forever ingrained in my head. But it might not be.
It just sounds
It was like
like
a song that it was almost like a cover of in the scene where they're all climbing up. And I was like, what is this song from? And I couldn't like put my finger on it.
Jessica's
It
listening
just
to
kind
it
of
right
sounds
It's
like
not- might not be important.
the thing they've been doing lately where they're like synths. If it's in space
Is,
or looks weird,
Is
it
what's
has
his name doing
synths.
it? Is it Michael Gia? Who's doing the audio for this?
The guy from Lost?
Yeah, isn't he the guy that usually does it? I can't find it quickly. I don't know who's doing the audio for it. They're going to use the same theme though, but the audio might be a little bit different.
Right.
You think they give Kang his own theme? Did he have one in Loki?
Maybe that's the Kang theme. Woo!
Dun, dun,
Maybe
dun,
Kang's
dun.
theme is
Sorry,
like,
I doubt that's it.
synthesizer. You never know. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if they
Weird
just
they
I
chose that.
bet you
Have
it
the
is
synths.
that.
what if they just give him
Yeah.
the Imperial March? You know, just have.
That's only for MODOK when MODOK floats out.
God. Okay. Final question. How does MODOK sound? And does MODOK
want him
talk
to-
in this film?
All right, this is very specific. JP, you know that one little Lalafell who's like, ugh. Like I want him to have the
Okay.
deepest, most like upsettingly, like a little sexy. You know, like this voice is like, "Hello, it's me, motherfucking MODOK." You know what I mean? Like,
you want a deep, raspy.
oh yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Can it be Antonio Banderas?
That's a
I do
completely
not
different
know.
take.
Oh, I'm aware.
So you
It's
want like
me.
Puss in Boots MODOK?
MODOK. That's right. Right? I want that.
I mean, he's in the Disney
And I still want
family.
him to be goofy.
Have
I want
y'all
to be like,
watched the MODOK show?
A little bit of it.
Yeah,
we watched
that
like an
Oswald's
episode.
fine.
Yeah.
but
He's
in the
too.
movie,
That's too
I want him to be
quippy.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want movie MODOK to be like a little disconcerting for the general public. I want people to be like, should I be attracted to that head? Because I'm attracted to that head. And I want that.
It's got like
I want-
Idris Elba's voice or something.
Yeah. I want like a deep, sexy voice on my MODOK. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, let's call that a react. Let's wrap it up with that. Don't forget, you got Agent Carter season 2 to watch for everyone that's been watching along with us. That'll be discussed next week. We'll talk a little bit more about Thunderbolts and all those rumors, as well as Captain America 4 and those rumors, because there's a lot of stuff flying around. And then whatever else is going on within the world of the MCU next Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the sub button. Go follow these guys and sub to all their stuff. We're out of here. Have a good one. Bye-bye.